Check this out. The best cruise deals for 2026 are happening right now during wave season, and most travelers have no idea how much money they can actually save. So this video is going to break down the best 4 to 7 night cruise savings, because these trips actually give you the best overall value, discounts, as well as the onboard perks. I'm also going to explain the hidden gem cruise itineraries, major cruise line promotions, as well as one travel hack that can end up saving you hundreds of dollars. And stay till the end, guys, because repositioning cruises are one of the most underrated ways to book cheap cruises in 2026. If you guys want more budget travel guides, cruise deal breakdowns, and insider travel tips for visiting these top destinations, hit subscribe to the Castaway Travelers right now. So welcome back to the Castaway Travelers, where we focus on travel discounts, military savings, as well as the smartest ways to plan unforgettable trips. Today's video is going to be a complete guide to the best cruise deals for 2026, including wave season explained in a simple and practical way. I'm going to show you guys which cruise lines are offering the strongest promotions, which destinations are the best bang for your buck, as well as which cruise lengths give you the best overall experience. So this is not just a generic cruise overview, because I'm going to give you guys the real travel tips for booking cruises, choosing itineraries, and maximizing those onboard benefits. So let's dive right into wave season. This is the biggest cruise booking season of the year, and it typically runs from January through March. Wave season is when major cruise lines release their best promotions for 2026 sailings in the Caribbean, Alaska, as well as the Mediterranean. The reason wave season matters is because this is when you guys can find the best cheap cruises for 2026 with the most valuable perks included. Wave season cruise deals often include reduced cruise fares, lower deposits, free cabin upgrades, as well as onboard credits worth $700. And cruise lines like Royal Caribbean, Princess Cruises, MSC Cruises, Norwegian Cruise Line, and Holland America all participate in these wave season promotions. And luxury cruise brands like Silversea and Regent also offer wave season savings, especially for the travelers looking for that once-in-a-lifetime cruise experience. One of the smartest cruise booking tips is to focus on the total value of the package, not just the base fare cruise price. So the cruise fare with an onboard credit, free Wi-Fi, or free specialty dining can end up being a better deal than a cheaper cruise with no extras included. So take a look at this when you're checking out these different ships. So booking and looking at cruises through wave season allows you to receive onboard credits and perks that make you feel like it's a luxury vacation for that budget price. It's definitely going to save you hundreds of dollars if you're booking between January and March. So now that you guys understand wave season, the next step is knowing which cruise lengths actually give you the best bang for your buck. So moving on, this is going to be the best value cruise lengths. The best cruise deals for 2026 are often found on 4-night, 5-night, as well as 7-night cruise sailings. The 4-night cruise is one of the cheapest ways to experience a Caribbean vacation while still holding that full cruise experience. And a 5-night cruise is often the perfect balance because it includes more ports, more relaxation, as well as more onboard package offers. And the 7-night cruise is often considered the classic cruise length because it offers the best itinerary variety and the strongest wave season promotions. And many of these cruise lines structure their biggest discounts around 7-night sailings because those trips are the most popular for families as well as for first-time cruisers. And those cruise lines like Royal Caribbean, MSC, Carnival, as well as Princess Cruises are especially competitive on those 4 to 7 night itineraries. A major travel tip for visiting cruise destinations affordably is choosing a shorter itinerary with strong onboard credit rather than paying extra for those longer sailings. The 4-night cruise is basically your weekend getaway, except the hotel comes with unlimited food and ocean views, and they give you a curfew as well. And the most popular place to book these shorter cruise deals is the Caribbean, because the competition that creates some of the best cruise discounts works in your favor. So now let's move on to the Caribbean cruise deals. Caribbean cruises are consistently the best option for cheap cruises in 2026 because cruise lines operate there year-round. Major cruise lines sailing in the Caribbean include Royal Caribbean, MSC Cruises, Carnival, Norwegian Cruise Line, as well as Princess Cruises. And Caribbean itineraries often depart out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Port Canaveral, New Orleans, as well as Galveston. And Caribbean cruise ports frequently include Nassau in the Bahamas, Cozumel in Mexico, St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, as well as Grand Cayman. And private island destinations like Perfect Day Coco Cay, as well as MSC Ocean Cay, are must-see attractions on those Caribbean cruises. And one of the best travel tips for visiting the Caribbean on a cruise is booking a 4 or a 5-night itinerary for the lowest cost per day. Another budget travel guide strategy is using that onboard credit for excursions like snorkeling, catamaran tours, or beach day passes. And the best photo spot on a Caribbean cruise is the sunrise on the top deck when the ocean looks completely unreal and it extends out into nothing. So speaking of once-in-a-lifetime experiences, if you guys are looking to head over to Grand Cayman, you guys can swim with stingrays over here, and it's one of the most unforgettable bucket list cruise excursions in the Caribbean. So if the Caribbean is a tropical paradise, Alaska is going to end up being the complete opposite. And it's one of the most scenic cruise destinations in the world. So moving on to the Alaska cruise deals. Alaska cruises offer some of the best 7-night cruise values because the scenery is nonstop and the itinerary feels like a nature documentary. Cruise lines operating out here in Alaska for 2026 include Princess Cruises, Holland America, Norwegian Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean, Disney Cruise Line, and select Virgin Voyage sailings. And Alaska cruises usually end up following the inside passage routes with stops in Juneau, Skagway, Ketchikan, as well as Glacier Bay National Park. And Glacier Bay is one of the most iconic must-see attractions in all of Alaska because you can view the massive glaciers directly from the ship. And the best time to book an Alaska cruise is during wave season because fares for the summer sailings are often discounted early. And one of the best budget travel tips for Alaska cruises is choosing May or September departures, since the peak July sailings are usually more expensive. A balcony cabin is one of the best upgrades for an Alaska cruise because it gives you that private glacier experience and the wildlife views every single day of your trip. And whale watching excursions right near Juneau are one of the most popular once-in-a-lifetime experiences in Alaska. And if you guys are looking for history, culture, as well as breathtaking coastal cities, Mediterranean cruises are another wave season favorite for 2026. So let's move on to the Mediterranean cruise deals as well as the hidden gems. Mediterranean cruises are one of the best options for the travelers that are searching for must-see attractions in Europe by cruise ship. And cruise lines operating the Mediterranean itineraries include MSC, Princess Cruises, Norwegian Cruise Line, Costa Cruises, Celebrity Cruises, and luxury brands like Regent as well as Silversea. And Mediterranean cruises often end up visiting iconic destinations like Santorini, Rome, Barcelona, as long as Dubrovnik. One of the best travel tips for visiting the Mediterranean is cruising in April, May, or September, because summer crowds can be overwhelming. Kotor, Montenegro is one of the best hidden gems in the Mediterranean because it offers dramatic scenery without a heavy tourist crowd. And over in Naxos, Greece, you guys can experience another hidden gem destination because it has those quieter beaches as well as a more local Greek island atmosphere compared to Santorini. And Dubrovnik at sunset is one of the best photo spots in all of Europe because the old city walls glow, especially during golden hour. So now let's talk about one of the biggest cruise travel hacks for experienced travelers to use and to get the most of your money at the same time. So let's talk repositioning cruises. Repositioning cruises are usually one-way itineraries, which means you'll arrive in a different country or city than where you started. And a major travel tip for visiting repositioning cruise destinations is planning ahead for airfare home because you need to fly back to that arrival port. And repositioning cruises can last 12 to 16 nights, and they often include extra sea days, onboard entertainment, as well as lower per-day pricing. These sailings are perfect for the travelers who want that once-in-a-lifetime cruise experience without paying peak vacation season prices. A repositioning cruise ends up being the cruise industry saying, we're moving the ship anyway, so you might as well come along for a ridiculous deal. So let's wrap up with the smartest ways to book these wave season deals and make sure you get the best cruise value for 2026. The best cruise deals for 2026 are happening during wave season, and the key is knowing what to book and when to book it. The best bang for your buck is usually found on 4-day, 5-day, as well as 7-day cruise itineraries. And Caribbean cruises are the best option for budget-friendly tropical escapes. Alaska cruises are the best option for dramatic scenery and wildlife experiences. Mediterranean cruises are perfect for culture, history, as well as hidden gems in Europe. And repositioning cruises are one of the best travel hacks for long, affordable, one-way sailing, as long as you plan those flights home. So subscribe to the Castaway Travelers for more cruise deal breakdowns, comment which itinerary you want to book first, and check out my Hidden Gems Cruise Travel Guide next. Until next time, may your cabin upgrades be real, your ocean views be endless, and your onboard credits actually cover your dessert. Thanks for watching. Keep traveling.